go to China. I'll live in China because of the beer. It's so cheap there.
That's good. Yes,
Yeah.
I like cheap beer. If I was
Yeah.
drinking beer, I would go to China. I don't think
Okay.
I would be welcome there. Do they welcome the LGBT community in China?
Okay. Compared to Malaysia, I think Chinese is slightly better. It's like if compared from a Muslim country, you could be stoned to death. But Chinese is like as long as you don't you don't step on their toes, you can't
Ruffle the
be
feathers, yes.
yeah, rub on your feathers, or you do if I go to sauna or gym dressing up like a woman, I can still get away with it as long as I don't go to big function with the government, dressing up like a female. As long as I don't do that, I'm fine in China still.
But what
It's
if
not
he
a
makes a
big
full
deal.
transition? Wouldn't you then be okay walking around as a woman?
Mm, won't be comfortable because it's still a very taboo thing there. But it's not like if they're gonna penalize you for being LGBT. So I heard that as a Puerto Rican, like you said, Puerto Rican and belongs to America. Is it same thing as like?
There was a period of time where Puerto Rico was owned by Spain. Now
Oh,
we're owned by America. So God bless America.
of course. This is the best place I'm living in, Thailand. Bangkok. That's why I'm retired. I like to stay here
Why?
for a long time.
I'm curious.
Because
Thailand is my second choice. Yes.
yes, first of
Bangkok.
all, yeah, I would say first of all because of the LGBT here, so free, and then expenses you don't go very high compared to a lot of country. Like New York is the expensive place of Bangkok. As more, put it this way. Also, here the people are very welcoming, very warm.
I do this greeting that I learned from watching the dramas in Thailand. Karihap,
Sawadee krap.
sarikap, as my
Sawadee
dog.
krap. One of my favorite, if I want to date someone, for me, I'm a bisexual actually, right? I prefer girls from Filipina. That's my first choice. Philippines, and then Thailand, and then the South Americans. Yeah,
In that
because
order?
like
In that order?
yeah, in that order. Because these people, um, some of them like they're mixed. Like for example, Filipina is Spanish mixed with the locals, Philippines.
Yes, I think I like Thailand because they look kind of Puerto Rican, but it's mixed with Asian. I like a mix, good mix. Like someone cafe con leche.
Yeah, so it's like they have big eyes and you know
And that's
Spanish
what
looking big eye, so beautiful, so cute.
well,
Yeah, but what about?
in New York, we have
Mhm.
all of that. I look out my window and I say Monday, okay, I'm doing Africa. Tuesday, I'm doing Puerto Rico. Next, Santo Domingo. Wednesday, then I go to, oh, we have Australia here. Oh, we have this. We have all the best people here.
Mm,
That's my commercial for New York. Come here if you want all the models.
I have two child actually. Right, one is sperm donation, totally sperm donation. I have to sign a contract that I cannot see him.
That's 10,000.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a great cause for me because the couple was lesbian, so I have to go and fuck one of them. It was great. So
That sounds like fun. That's a good job.
yeah, the greatest paid I ever get, 10,000 USD just to fuck him until I get it. Wow.
Wait, fuck him or
Like
fuck her, right?
fuck her, yeah. Fuck her until I get it. Like I did it twice because the first time you didn't get it, and then only go through it the second time. And I have to shoot in as well. So I have to be really hey. You better give me some mood, yeah. Don't stay in the room, man. Let me be with her alone, okay?
And that's the boy, and then you have another baby.
Yes,
Boy or girl?
there's a girl now with my ex-wife. This is the one that I can claim. This is my son. My daughter. The other one is just sperm donation. Like it's not a donation. It cost me hell a lot of fun.
I have a dog which kind of is like having a child, but it's not because if the puppy died today, I'll be like, oh, I gotta get another one. It's not like a baby. Like if I lost a baby that I made from my sperm and produced and it looks like me, I'll be like, it's almost like a part of me died. Literally, the good looking part of me died. Because that's what you make a baby for. Just to kind of keep your bloodline aligned. And you want them to be better than you, hotter.
Dogs are like companionship, and daughter is like you don't need her to accompany you. You just watch her around, running around the house, making some noise, and then you be happy by yourself. It's really called unconditional love. And then you really, you know,
You have unconditional love for her, or she has? I think the puppy has unconditional love for me because I had to one time smack him on the butt because he did something. And he's still like, oh, come here, daddy. Let me lick your face.
yeah, but I'll say daughter is different. You don't when you call her sometimes, hey, Nicole, come here, come here, come here. She will not come, she's still busy with what she's doing, but you will still be happy if she doesn't come. It's fine.
My goal for the next 2 years is to get somebody pregnant. On that note,
my goal is to fuck somebody.
No fucking. We could do it in a petri dish. Let's start the show.
I live near Alexandria, which is on the Mediterranean. The pyramids are actually 300 kilometers that direction from me. Like they're like on the, like you see them when you're coming in to Cairo on the right-hand side. I wish I could live in Scotland near Edinburgh. There's something about the Scottish accent. I just love Scotland. Ever since I went there in 2005, it was one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. Did you know that Edinburgh is built on 7 dormant volcanoes? That's why it's so hilly.
I'd like to live in Japan because Japan is not cancelled. Japan is almost on the immunity list. Japan has good technology. It is making bridges out of plastic. It's making bridges out of recycled plastic. That has to be the thing. If you're recycling, if you're doing good for the environment, you're not cancelled. You're uncancelled.
I'm in Bangkok, and my favorite. I only have one favorite place. I actually have 2, but the other one is not a place. I want to be in New York because I love theater. I love acting. That's all I grew up with when I was in Thailand. And the second place is I just want to be disappear, like into the abyss. You know what I mean, right? Like no
Invisible?
responsibility.
Like invisible?
No, not invisible. Like disappear, like non-existent.
It's like Thanos got rid of all of the.
Yeah, I hope that I wish to be one of the victim that disappear. Just poop. Yeah, like into the abyss, the darkness, like nothing become nothing. Like, but that to the place that I can actually put on to is New York because I love acting. Yeah.
Oh, Kim, I didn't know you're gonna have suicide thoughts with you. Please look.
No, it's not suicide. I mean,
I'm just joking.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that Thanos, my second favorite place was Paris. But if Thanos came back from the Avengers and got rid of Paris, you know what it is? Paris is dirty, just like New York. The people are snobby. So if Thanos got rid of all the Parisians, I don't think I would miss them. I'd be like, oh, I used to like Paris.
Give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. Before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings, and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. I say, oh, you don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. And then I say, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life, this is a fact, comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of their life are you using conscious, which is creative. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. I can feed you with an idea that this pill that we just got from the pharmaceutical company, it's the greatest, best thing for your issue. And I give you this pill and you get better. And then later you find out it was a sugar pill and everybody goes, yeah, that's called the placebo effect. And I go, what does it really mean? I said, you didn't get healed by the pill, you got healed by the belief in the pill. And I go, well, yeah, that's what placebo is all about. And at least 1/3, minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is, it's the placebo effect where the healing comes from. That's a result of positive thinking. What about negative thinking? And this is what we don't talk about, but the reality is it's equally powerful in regard to affecting your biology as is positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. A negative thought is called the nocebo effect. Can cause any disease and you can die. If you believe you're going to die, you can die from the belief. So we really have to watch out because, as psychologists would tell us, 70% or more of our thoughts are negative and redundant, replaying the same negative thoughts. I go, if thoughts had nothing to do with it, fine. But thoughts, positive or negative, shape our biology. And all of a sudden it says, well, now it's time to wake up because our negative thinking is manifesting a negative life experience. Well, we have to recognize, number one, that 95% of our behavior is coming from subconscious. So a child is going to record for 7 years, and they're going to record you. You have a new baby. That baby is going to look at you because you are the parent. The first thing a baby learns in the first week or two of life, who's the parent? Very important, because that's the reference point. If anything goes in their life, they're going to look at the parent first thing. A child on a playground is on a swing, falls off the swing on the ground. First thing it does is look at the parent. If the mother's like, ah, the kid starts crying. But if the mother goes, get up and get back on the swing, the kid gets back up on the swing. It's reflection, unconsciously. And basically said, you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously.
In the orphanage home, when I was young, I grew up from the orphanage home. Everyone around you are poor. You're mixing with them, you're talking to them. Oh, this is how. And then they even teach me how to go to shoplifting. The way how to do shoplifting, yeah, they are so good.
As a child, you learn skills. That's good.
Yeah, shoplifting and all that stuff, but stealing it's a habit of a poor. Like, why do you steal? Because you don't have. That's a very bad thing to do. That's the reason why a lot of parents tell us not to steal, not to do this. It's they don't know the real reason behind it. It's actually a person who steals is because you're poor, and then you continue doing that. You keep affirming it to yourself. I'm poor, and that's the program that's running our life all the time. And then when I came out, from the orphanage home, I did good jobs. I was working with the airlines and fitness instructor. So many good jobs. But at the end of the day, I'm still poor. I was like, why is it going on? Something just seems to get right. I work so hard, something just goes wrong. My car got broke down, or something wrong with my house. My daughter came on, there's the fees and all those stuff. Money just come in and go. I see could never get rich. As soon as I change this, things just go different direction.
In my subconscious, in my conscious. So let's say we have a coffee, and what happens after the coffee? Did I have a good reaction to serene? Was the coffee just right? Was it hot? So I think a good life is what happens, the result of life, but processed through my brain. And that took a while to get to that place. I like the idea of being compared to a program. The humans are, we are, wired a certain way. We accept things into our life because we're programmed. Yep. And I don't think that my programming in my earlier, you were in a orphanage. I lived in the projects, very poor people. who stole, who taught me to steal. But I think the negativity was the other part of the video. It was sort of like, if you have a negative thoughts, you will become a negative person. And I'm not a negative person now. I'm like this optimist shining. When the sun comes out tomorrow, I'm like, oh, wow, the sun is out. If I have a bad day, tomorrow the sun will come out. Everything will be fine.
When my daughter was born, she knew nothing about boys, girls, and all that. She see me dressing up like that. She have no idea what transgender. She have no idea Papa should be a male or female. And that's when my ex-wife parents tell them, Papa has to be a boy, and then Mama has to be a girl, and that's where he got the idea, and then the programs just start loading in. That's one of the program. This is how it works. So we've been programmed like that, and then okay, this is how boys, this is how girls. Boy cannot wear like this, and girls cannot, do what. Girls has to stay home and cook. Yeah, that's how that's how this thing is all about.
That sounds like
yeah.
negative thinking. Like, oh no,
Yeah.
you have to do this, you have to do that. Now, one good thing I like about the new generation, they're open to anything. Ooh, 6-way orgy. Whoa, let's do it.
Oh,
Be
wow.
a stay-at-home father is not frowned on. The social contract is like, Serene's and Henry's and mine favorite word is, even Buddha said it, don't be a cunt.
I am a cunt.
That's my
Thanks.
time. That's my minute.
When the tribals of Solomon Islands want to cut a tree, when they want to cut a tree, they don't cut the tree down. So they surround around the tree and they curse it for hours every day. And within a few weeks, the tree dries up and it straight up dies. It falls. No cutting, no nothing. Just go there and people curse around it and it falls down. And
Wow.
although this might seem like very difficult to believe, but it's actually true. Like, this is what Buddha said. You are what you think, right? So it's not some random philosophical theory. He was stating a scientific fact, which is proved correct by quantum physics and molecular biology, which is like trees have feelings too. And whenever these tribals curse a tree, they are installing negative and harmful beliefs in the tree's emotion. And within a few days, those emotions will become a belief. Those negative emotions will become a negative belief, which eventually changes the molecular architecture of the tree and it kills it from the inside.
I wrote this gag in 2014 after a documentary I saw, which was all about the scientific research into talking to plants and how plants actually feed off our energy. Like, there was I'll look up the documentary, and essentially Russian scientists in the Cold War era were doing experiments like smoking and blowing the smoke, and like it was like two plants in the room, and like one plant, like a guy came in and ripped it to shreds. They attached the electrodes to the plant and they got all the lineup, and the plant identified the assailant. The Americans, they did a similar thing where they connected brain plugs to like a human person, and showed him a bunch of images, and like the electrodes are connected to a plant, and like they did like the graph thing was measuring the brain reactions, and the plant was mimicking the human being's reactions to the video.
I used to sing to my plants and they died eventually. I don't know if it's the singing.
You sing off key.
Yes.
I believe we are what we think we are, but I kind of doubt about if we think that we are going to success, then we're gonna make it. I mean, here's the thing about Buddha say that nothing lasts forever, even happiness. You know what I mean, right? So not your head, right? Yeah. Buddha say nothing lasts forever, and even happiness is not true. It's like one of illusions that we have, and one day we're gonna die, and everything just almost meaningless. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. So, and anyway, I don't know, if we are programmed to be poor or rich, and we want to change the program. If it's subconscious, that means we don't know what it actually programming us, right? So how do we gonna change it? Yeah,
Where
yeah.
does all this negativity come from? Your childhood was negative?
Yeah. My first 7 years is fuck. To be honest, I seen my dad beat my mom a lot. Yeah, but I'm not depressed. You know what I mean. I'm not depressed, but I mean I'm not a criminal. I never snatching. I never commit a crime or something like that. I think I have a kind of a good life, and I don't know, maybe
What is a good
I mean,
life? That's what I've been troubling my mind with, is going around, Serene, is kind of like figuring it out. A good life is what? What is good? What's good? What's
not
good?
trying to jump off the bridge. You know, yeah. I look at life as a hobby. You know, you're killing time, and one day it's gonna end. And I am afraid of afterlife.
Not Googling
Afterlife.
painless methods for suicide.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You know what? It starts with killing time, and then you're killing something else, and then you start small animals. Where does it end?
Really?
Crowds.
Okay. I'm
Set
not
the
gonna do that. I
arrows.
promise you. Yeah. Okay.
Cancel.
Okay, that's
You're
my
getting
time, yeah.
canceled. If you do it, you're gonna get cancelled.
Yeah, for sure. For life. Cancel for life. From life.
What the video was saying, that if you were born into wealth and you could be dumb, you'll still succeed just because of maybe the surrounding circle around you. But that's not necessarily true, because money is a corruption in society. You know, it's one of those things where family can sell you out for money. Money can be owed by family members, and then at the time of, like, someone in the family dies, and you'd be like, hey, remember when my father lent you 10,000? You want to maybe pay it back? I know you're back on your feet, and they ghost you. Well, like I said, good people, I believe that if you can make yourself, like, no matter what you're, so like, if you come from nothing, you can build yourself up. And I've seen it happen in America. I've seen it happen in Canada. I've seen it happen in Europe. I've seen people come from war zones and rebuild themselves up. So I think if you persevere, put your mind to it, if you will it, you will do it. If you conceive it, you will do it.
Video had a message about programming the first 7 years as a child. If I had all the programming of a rich person, I think that I would be like, oh, where's the maid? I need a fucking maid here. I got to do something to get a maid. It's a lifestyle. It's almost like people that complain they date a rich person, and then they later on sue him because I got accustomed to this lifestyle.
I was blessed from not only coming from wealth, but coming with two incredibly good-hearted, like, basically Thomas and Martha Wayne, like in DC Universe. Cancel Cop knows what I'm talking about. So does C. So does Frank. Henry. I don't know why I called you Frank. And Tim.
Frank Cruz.
Whoever Frank
Cruz.
is in the audience
Frank
watching
Cruz.
this live, Frank, if you're
Frank
out
Cruz.
there, listen, your wife loves you. All right?
Or
Get her
his
on
husband.
the phone.
Or
Don't be
his
a
husband.
douchebag, Frank. Frank, there's a Frank watching us right now, I'm sure.
There's this thing called Maslow's pyramid, which says that everybody wants to go top of the pyramid. Like, once they meet certain kind of requirements, they only like to move forward. So let's say somebody has no material needs, like they struggle for food or water and shelter and all of that. They want to get those needs first before they have their higher needs prioritized. So the first need is obviously getting the material needs. And once people have reached that point, they go for the next level, which is having friends, or, going further, having friends, having a family, having a social life, having a respectable life. And then at the top of the pyramid is something where, even though you have all of these below, you have people working under you, you have friends, you have family, you have everything, you're rich, there is still something that uh, even the top people want. They want to go even beyond. They want to achieve something called self-actualization. What makes them feel full in their soul? What feeds their soul to the fullest? And that's why I always say you always need to have two kinds of food: food for the stomach and food for the soul. Both foods are important.
Is that you made that quote, or you are quoting from someone? You have to have.
I'm quoting. I think it really pains me to say that I am quoting this idiot called Sahrud who made this quote.
Wow.
I stole it from him. Yes, I should not. I should be cancelled right now. But that idiot should be cancelled. Sahrud should be cancelled. So I stole his quote. Yeah.
We talk about a hierarchy of Maslow hierarchy,
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that.
Maslow's hierarchy. Yes. Tim knows that.
Okay. Well, you guys are smarter than me. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn.
When it comes to that moment where you're in the car with your friend and you're driving and all of a sudden you're like, where the fuck are we? Oh, I don't know. And like, bad driver. There's a thing like you can call it in philosophy existential thinking, like just thinking outside of yourself in the moment, which is what that school of thought is called. Then there's the word, the German call it Zeitgeist, which many people in English-speaking countries pronounce it Zeitgeist, but it's actually Zeitgeist, which means the ghost of the moment. And in Arabic, there's a word for that moment, and it's called Bint el-Lahdha, which means the daughter of the moment. And ironically, in English, you just call it an epiphany. Having a joint mutual epiphany is pretty much how we start to can have like that connecting moment where we're like outside of ourselves. And like, for example, if you're sitting with a friend and you're making him laugh or making her laugh, and you're making each other feel good, just like, in a social setting, as you said, drinking coffee somewhere like in the park or at a cafe or in a car driving and hotboxing with a friend. And it's that moment where you get lost in the moment, you listen to the music and you're just living life. And that's when you realize there's a line in Arabic, which is al-mautu haq, which means death is truth, which was something that Tim said earlier, about when you die, that's it. And the thing is that line, the death is truth, it's not a philosopher. That's actually a line from the Quran. Like death is truth.
Tim did say
life.
he wants to go to a dark place. That's his second choice. Here the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the theory of motivation. Those are safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, self-actualization. I think I spent too much. I got the last one so late in life. Can't say the word.
Actualization. Self-actualization.
Yes. English is not my first language. So it's self-actualization. It's kind of knowing who you are in the world, what your place is. I learned that late. So
it's more like also the consciousness, which kind of the consciousness you are, which level are you in? Because if you're at the lowest, you are always thinking about survival. And then when you're at the highest, you become selfless, you become, you no longer attached towards what money is all about. It's all about you performing, all about you doing what you love, no longer chasing all this Lamborghini and all this stuff. These are just the physical world.
If you're a parent and you keep correcting your child in the name of constructive criticism, and you're installing in the name of constructive criticism, if you're just correcting them, you're installing negative beliefs in their minds, which will keep harming them forever. But if you keep appreciating them in a sincere way and with love, you're installing beliefs in their mind, which will help them enter an entire new life, a better life. And I think let's all be careful and responsible for the messages we are sending out to those around us. We are all influencers in our own ways. Each of us are influencers in our own ways. And we should feel responsible for ensuring that we are positively and constructively influencing everyone around us.
I'm doing this for your own good. That's the other thing I heard.
Yeah, but I won't disagree with Sarut, but I wouldn't totally agree as well, because you don't really have to. As a parents, Like me, I have a daughter. You don't really have to go and tell her, hey, this is wrong, this is right. You don't even have to tell her. She's watching you. So like my daughter is like when I swim with her, she was only 3 years old. She was seeing me jumping into all this very deep pool where I can't even touch the floor. But of course, I was a national swimmer, so for me, swimming is like a piece of cake. Like I was just swimming and show her, and then a couple of days later, you see her jumping down with me, like boom. She doesn't know the thing is dangerous. She just sees you like, whoa, 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 it's fun, like let me come and join you, pal. That's what it means. But when it comes to reaches and all stuff, today the parents are not really taking care of the sons. They're sending their sons to, schools and all stuff. They will be mixing with other kids, so they're not really watching their parents. Meeting, making decision and all stuff. When you don't watch that, then you don't have the child doesn't have the opportunity to download the program from the parents. It's downloading from the environment now. So that's why you see some of the rich people's kid come off so spoiled because they're showing off all this life. It's been downloaded from the environment around them. Everyone is showing off.
I do get the idea of Mr. Kopp was saying that you don't want to shut down people's creativity or thought process, and you want to encourage when they have a good thought. But it's also I've seen the extreme, especially in New York, where you are so coddling a child's brain, where it's like, oh, every thought that came out, he deserves an award for. The helicopter parents. There's that fine line there. And it is the programming that you give your child by example, observation. If you're a dick, your child is probably going to be a dick.
Like some people may paint a painting with their shit, and you don't have to encourage that as a parent. No, that's wrong. Actually, there are lines, there are limits to be drawn. But what I'm saying is, sometimes, if a child just is trying to sing or trying to dance to something, just because the child is a boy and should not listen to that song or something, or just singing in general, if they like to express themselves creatively, you should not just stamp them down, say, no, you should not do this creativity, you should go study, do that, don't do this. I think that may harm the child when he or she grows older, and
they feel restrained. Yeah, they feel like
restrained.
They can't. If you set the bar here and say I can't go here, although my brain goes, oh, you said I can't go there, I'm gonna go there just because. It works as for me does. Tell me you can't, and I'll try harder.
I have a friend who is rich, with the same age as me, and their parents very open to their ideas, but those ideas are stupid, and their parents never told them that they are stupid. You know what I mean, right? But sometimes I get it when parents want, because I came from a very strict parents, but it turned out kind of good to me. But anyway, anything that I disagree with my parent, I just disagree with them. I mean, I have no problem with it. But sometimes with the kid who their parents too much open to them, is turn out bad. I don't know why. I mean, sometimes they just want to be good, but just like I say, men plan dot labs. I mean, like it's had nothing to do. I mean, everything depend on the kid, not to me, not the parents. I mean, we've seen people come from the war and make themselves up. You know what I mean, right? I'm sorry, my English is not that good, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah. Yes.
No, your English is flawless, man. Don't
yes, it is. It is. I'm able to understand it.
Your English is better than mine.
Yeah, better than Henry. And Henry, you should be cancelled. You lived in the Bronx. You were born in Brooklyn. You were born in Brooklyn. No, you're
Manhattan. I was born in Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan. You're living in Bronx, and
you're a rich part in New York.
With a silver spoon in my mouth. No, I'm kidding. Something else is in my mouth.
Yeah, what if the parents like what if my parents are still alive, say I want to be a porn star? What would he like if they stop me from my dreams? Like what the Right? If they don't stop, I'll be
How
very
would that
famous porn star.
conversation start? How would that conversation start? Like,
Well, you just be the best porn star
Breakfast.
that you want. If it was my mom thought that I could be president. I've said this in a podcast before. She was so encouraging. She was like, she was the helicopter parent, and the balance was my dad, like Tim, who used to beat everybody. He had anger issues. So, but she would say, yeah, you could do whatever you want. And I was like, can I become president? She said, yes, President Henry.
Yeah, to respond to Tim a little bit, like it's just the best way to lead, right? Is lead by example. You know, like you don't really have to give them, tell them what to do and this and that, and this one no, this one yes. When like for example, Kobe Bryant's daughter, like automatic, she just know how to play basketball so well because the father is doing it. It's this example. He's watching.
The second thing that I do believe in this theory is if you can't learn it, you can relearn, teach yourself. It's kind of, you have to forget all the negativity you learned as a child, which is I have in the process of doing. Reteach yourself. There's a 10,000 hour book. Somebody wrote a book that said if you do something for 10,000 hours, you start to get something in your head new.
It's all down to your parents. Lead by example. If they teach you to be a good person, you'll be a good person. If they teach you to be a bad person, you're going to be a bad person, and your energy will attract what you put into the universe.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.
The adversity that I had as a child, all that negativity and adversity from my parents made me dream for something better. That little bit of dream was like, oh, I'm going to do this just to spite you. I'm going to be smart because you're dumb.
Yes. I got what you mean.
It was Abraham Lincoln who said most men can handle adversity, but if you want to test a man's true nature, give him power.
Think and Grow Rich is arguably one of the greatest self-help books of all time. Why? Because in it is the combined knowledge about how to become successful from some of the greatest minds of the 20th century and what made them successful. And the book is a distillation of those ideas. Now here's the all-encompassing idea. In order to do great things, whether it be to accumulate great riches or any other goal for that matter, we have to enroll and harness the power of our subconscious mind. And that is what we will discuss in this video going forward. Now, why do we need to do that? Well, we all have two minds inside of us, the conscious and the subconscious. However, in terms of sheer power, the subconscious mind is orders of magnitude more powerful than the conscious mind. There is literally no comparison. If the size of the conscious mind is the size of a microwave oven, the subconscious mind is the size of the Milky Way. It's extremely powerful, and the computational resources it has are humongous, millions of times more powerful than the conscious mind. So in order to accomplish your big goals, you need to harness the power of your subconscious mind by programming it with the goal that you want. And how do we harness the power of the subconscious mind and program it for what we want? Well, given the nature of our subconscious mind and the conscious mind, it is not easy to program the subconscious mind, but it is entirely possible. And this book is all about understanding precisely how to do that. So let's understand the basics of the subconscious mind, and then we will talk about the keys to program it for massive success. Firstly, even though the subconscious mind is way more powerful than the conscious mind, it is still being controlled by the conscious mind. Our conscious mind is the master of our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like a garden, while the conscious mind is the gardener. The conscious mind is sowing the seeds of thought, while the subconscious is working to bring those thoughts to fruition. If your thoughts are dominated by negativity, fear, poverty, failure, well, the subconscious mind is busy making those thoughts a reality for you, and hence it is working against you. On the other hand, if you're feeding your subconscious mind deliberately designed thoughts and feelings of riches, success, positivity, well, the subconscious mind gets busy making those thoughts a reality for you. Now, the challenge is that if you do not actively plant deliberately chosen thoughts and emotions in there, it will work on the thoughts it receives as a result of neglect. It will take whatever thoughts and emotions you think and feel and get busy making them a reality, whether positive or negative. Well, here are the 5 keys to do exactly that. A definite purpose. We must become very clear on what we want, on the specific goal we want. The clearer the purpose or the end goal, the easier it is to get there. Use the power of autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestions are deliberately designed statements or commands you give to yourself, also known as affirmations. Once you know what you want, you must repeat that command to your subconscious mind over and over and over and over and over again to use the power of emotions to direct your subconscious mind. Now, it is not enough to think about your goals and just repeat them. You must mix those thoughts of your goals with emotions, the emotions you want to feel when the goal will be accomplished. The subconscious mind only understands the language of emotions. Emotionless thoughts do not affect the subconscious mind. That is a fact. It does not understand. The subconscious does not understand the language of logic or reason. So any language you use in order to program your subconscious mind has to involve emotions, visualization, and acting as if. In order to program our subconscious mind, we must see and feel the goal as if the goal is already accomplished, that you already have what you desire. Ask yourself, how would you act if you had already accomplished your goal? How would you feel? What would you do? What feelings would dominate your mind? The key to visualization is to actually be able to see and feel yourself as having already accomplished the goal rather than thinking of it as a distant possibility. So if you have a goal of making $1 million by December 31st of next year, visualize yourself on December 31st as having already accomplished that goal. Don't think of it as something you would like to accomplish in the future. That is creating the feeling of not having the goal right now. Is persistence and repetition. So what is the price of being able to harness the power of your subconscious mind? It is, as Napoleon Hill says it, it is everlasting persistence in thoughts mixed with emotions, mixed with faith. Endless repetition of that desire mixed with positive emotions and mixed with faith. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what you see externally in the world, there's no lower price we can pay. We must consistently persist and repeat these thoughts over and over and over again. We must decide to program our subconscious mind, and there is no end to it. We have to do it over and over and over again. And however, there is one power strategy that literally puts this whole book on steroids. This strategy makes the above 5 steps automatic, and that strategy is to burn the boats. Now let me tell you the story of Spanish conqueror Hernan Cortez back in the 1500s to really explain what it means to burn the boats. When Hernan Cortez's warships arrived on what was then the Aztec Empire, he had clear intentions of fighting the Aztecs and conquering that area of what is now modern-day Mexico. However, he quickly realized that his army was badly outnumbered, almost to the ratio of 1 to 100. And he saw that his soldiers were starting to hesitate and thinking of retreating in case the war did not go according to plan. So in order to get the very best out of his soldiers, in order to get them to win, he ordered his men to burn their boats. And once the boats were burned, there was no way of retreating. The soldiers knew very clearly that they only had 2 options, either win or die. There was no other way out, do or die. And that created a burning obsession inside of them to win and to live. And that is why his army went on to win the war.
There's no try.
There's no try. Why don't you?
Try not.
Yeah, like that's
There is dildo or dildon't.
this is one of the book that got me into this state right now. I free myself from all this poverty consciousness. And also, well, my financial finance is quite kind of very stable right now. You know, like I don't really have to work. You know, I won't say I'm like freaking rich, but I don't have to work for my next meal. You know, I can sit down here and play computer games. Next meal will just come. You know, that's how I did it.
Since I was a little kid, a ruckus child, I would do this thing where I was accepting awards. Best actor, and I want to thank my teaching coach. And I would do this in my head. So I was doing the visualizations of like walking around like, yes, as president, I will accept you for invading Poland. That is acceptable. This is 6 and 7 years old. So that part I've mastered. I had a very good, rich dream fantasy life.
Burning the boat. That's a good theory as well. Not theory. That's a good practice, I'd say. Do or die. And I don't know what happened later. Did they succeed in defeating all the Aztecs? Did they die? I don't know what happened, but the spirit with which they fought, I think that is something we have to commend. Although I do not side with colonization. Colonization should be cancelled.
So if I'm going at 70% and I burn the doorway out, I put a fire behind me, I got to go out. I got to find another way. So it almost puts an urgency. That's what I thought it meant.
And I'll do this as Christopher Walken. Cortez is kind of like a modern day, well, what you would say in modern day, like that guy that became the leader of Germany in 1933 and then, killed a lot of people because, the ripple effect of Cortez was that millions died or were converted to Catholicism at the sword of the Jesuit monks. But, that's just history. So yeah, I understand the break, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs mindset, like as Jack Nicholson and Batman would say, but like, that's some hardcore, like, that's genocide, man. What the guy in the video doesn't mention is that Cortez is right up there with Stalin, Hitler, Pol Pot, Genghis Khan, Vlad the Impaler, who like impaled 100,000 Ottomans on a field, made the Sultan go, whoa, that is some fucked up shit. And he went back, but he got a new idea of capital punishment that day. Vlad the Impaler is Dracula, who Dracula, the legend of Dracula, is based on. Essentially, yeah, no. Burning the boats, that's like a horrible, like, men, we're not going back to Spain. It took us 3 months to get here. 4 because of that storm in the sea. And we're not going back. We've got a mission. Kill a lot of people. Women and children involved.
Today is a good day to die. Then when you say burn a boat, that's what I think about, like a Klingon. They go into battle and they're going to fight as hard as they can. Kapla. Today is a good day to die. And that's how you win. That's how you get rich. Kill all the poor people.
This segment was sponsored by the Netflix program, How to Be a Dictator, currently on Netflix.
Live long and prosper, yes.
I actually read the book in Thai when I was 14. I still have a book right here. Think and Go Rich.
Oh, isn't that interesting that you read the book that?
Yeah, like.
Serene, did Serene tell you about it?
No. I read it before. I read it when I was 14. I'm into this self-improvement stuff before I was 15. So I read a lot about that. But the thing about burning the boat, I mean, every time you burn the boat and you come back, you win. History remember you. But I think there are a lot of people who burn the boat and not make it. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah, I think so. Yes.
And how much the ratio about that? I don't know. Like, if you burn the boat and you're not gonna make it, no one heard about you, and like the statistic is not matched. You know what I mean? And I don't like the idea of burning the boat, to be honest. I mean, I burned the boat before.
Isn't he supposed to be back?
Yeah.
Like I'll explain this a little bit. Like that's why he put the burn book after the 6th step. Is because a lot of people try to use this as, like, have you seen someone lost his job? And then suddenly he go, oh, I need to find a new job. I need the money so bad for his loan and all stuff. Hey, do whatever it takes. And then he got into a new shit job just because of that money. Yeah, so that's why you see it
I
don't
like
really
that little
work.
adjective, the new shit job.
Yeah, like crap. Now I'm facing a new boss that I don't even like. Then talk so much, and I have to endure because of I needed the money. But like for me, I did once with Henry. I had a competition. It's called a Gong Show or something like that. It was in Malaysia, you know. And then I have last minute. We didn't go through a writing, so I needed Henry's help. You know, I said, hey, could you help me with this 5 minute jokes? You know, like I need to, you know, practice it so many times. Yeah, I call up Henry, and then we worked. And then okay, I worked so hard on it, you know, and then later on the show got cancelled, you know, because only one audience show up, you know. And then later on I used that joke. From that on, my joke those joke become so well, you know, like wow, I punches here and there. When I came back to Bangkok, I punch a lot in a lot of stages because of that structure of that joke, the off-leash joke and the cabin crew joke as well. You know, it went out so well. It's because of that last minute boat, you know, like it kicked me, it really pushed me, you know, I have to work so hard for
Well,
that.
I have to. I could keep that in the podcast because you said I made your career.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Anybody else want to say that? Colin,
You
jump
heard it
in.
here first.
Henry, Henry, you
Yes.
are a narcissist and you are cancelled. But you also made my career, so I may have to let that slip by.
Okay.
As they would say in Star Trek, it's a time continuum quandary.
Like, what if the cancel cop canceled the person that created him? Ah, that'd be a great movie. I'd watch that.
I used to do the visualizations before, like when I was really young. It worked. I mean, I never told Serene that I did this. I mean, Serene, you asked me to do the visualization. I used to do it before, like when I was 15, 14, 16, and it worked, but it worked in the mysterious way. It's not like work like you intended to. Like for example, like I have a crush on a girl, like this very rich, beautiful girl, but I'm afraid to talk to her. And then I just keep thinking about it, like daydreaming. And then 5 years later, I be with her. Something like that. I don't even know how it works. Something go with the same thing go with screenwriting. When I was in high school, I you know, I never studied the screenwriting shit. I just daydreaming about it. And then I go to college and then I got a job. And all of my friends in film school didn't get a job. And they work harder than me. But here's the thing. The thing that I visualizations with, I get it, but I don't know how. And it took a long time. But anything that I work hard with, I didn't get it. You know what I mean?
So the stuff you don't work hard on, you get easily. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I need some of that.
The point that I want to make here is our subconscious mind are all connected, right? If you think of being rich, and then all these rich people come. I never think of I'm going to run organize a show, right? I just say I want to be a great comedian, a successful one, you know, kind of a top few in Bangkok. There you go.
We tap into our subconscious. It can really change everything, you know, like I just sort of like, I have to admit that in 2018, 2019, I was like wondering when would I be on, it's a weird thing, but when would I be on IMDb? And, you know, for someone who has like, you know, mild spectrum ADHD, Article 2, sources of series of PTSD, Article 3, photographic memory, Article 4, high IQ of 133, but it went down. It was actually 139 at age 4, but, you know, see Article 2, series of PTSDs. So I think, like, if you visualize, you can capitalize. I totally believe that. And so did The Cult in The Mentalist. If any of you have not seen that TV show, it's a great TV show with Patrick Jane, The Mentalist, now streaming on Amazon Prime.
The idea that the gardener, which is the conscious mind, is watering the huge Milky Way of the subconscious. The ratio of something really small being your subconscious, because I think of myself as like the way I exist is that everyone is smaller than me. So to know that there's something in my head that's even bigger than me.
Well, that's what I was like finished with. Don't worry, I'm keeping it. My mind has been blown from these videos, man. Seriously, thank you.
If I had to say there's 5 things here on the list, the weakest one is self-affirmations. Who's doing that?
Who's doing that? Yeah.
Go
Who's
ahead.
doing that? One of the key elements is putting it out to the universe. And I think I've said this before. When you really want something with your heart, the entire universe will help you make that closer. And that's what I think that was third point or second point in the video. It trains your subconscious mind. You say it's the universe, but your subconscious mind is already in that working. It wants to work, and that is why even though you don't know that you're doing it, you're subconsciously doing it. And it has helped me a lot over the past few months. I've got to know about this technique. I've been looking as if I'm already living in the future. And I want to admit that sometimes I did over visualize some things, but that is just something I thought I was overconfident in, and I couldn't properly do it. I'd like to disagree in some cases where I said, I'm going to get this job at this company and I'm going to get that. I already got it. I used to think about it and all, but I didn't get it. And I was disappointed. But then I realized that I was being a bit over the top about those things. And deep down, I still had that fear that I'm not going to make it. And that fear eventually led to becoming big, and I did not get it. But what I wanted to get, I already got them.
You do self-affirmations?
I always do self-affirmations. Like whenever I wake up in the morning, especially before writing an examination, when I wake up, I write a text saying, you're going to do the best. You're going to perform the best way possible. Every morning when I wake up, I see that message, and then I start working and I write the examination.
So you're a gardener. You're gardening your subconscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to do that because I'm the reason I'm fixated on this is that I believe self-affirmation is shit. But now I'm here to learn. Maybe it's not shit.
I'm gonna put this way. I think it's not think and grow rich. I think it's feel and grow rich. But because sometimes it's hard to know what you're feeling, because feeling combined with a lot of kind of emotions, and it worked that way. I think it's true. I mean, somehow how you feel dictate your destination of your life.
That seems to be number 3 is like your subconscious listens to emotions.
Yeah. I think so. But I'm not in touch with my feeling like for the past 6 months. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm numb right now.
I feel like I'm dead inside. There's no feelings left. And there's like, if you punch me, I'll be like, okay, so what? Whatever.
Not that bad. I'm not committing suicide yet.
I was talking about me. Yes.
Oh,
Continue with Sarud. Yeah, like you're right what you say just now. Like you can't make it because the book, right? If you read the last chapter, it's called 6 Ghosts of Fear. When you have that, it blocks you away from success. You must never have doubt and fear. You have to clear it all.
What's interesting is like when you work in education, the one thing they do during orientation is they sit you down and you watch videos about inspiration and visualization, the visualization of inspiration to the younger generation, that you're going to be giving them concentration with the education that they're going to be doing for the future of the nation. Anyway, point is, I digress. A lot of Asians, not Asians, Asians. I wasn't being racist. I was being literate. But the point is that one of the videos, they're always about positive energy. But one realization I had was like a battery inside an electrical device has both a positive side and a negative side. And that remote, any gamer here or TV owner knows that the remote will not work unless the battery is connected both at the positive and the negative. That is how the remote functions. In other words, be like Mace Windu. He borrowed
Dark-
from both the light side and the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
Purple lightsaber, when you positively, absolutely have to kill every Sith in the room, except no substitutes.
So you're saying you have emotions in your subconscious right now?
Everything has an attached emotion to it at this point in my life. Anything, like even when it comes to knowledge, or even when it comes to the simplest of things, I attach a lot of emotion to it. I'm usually, we Indians, I don't want to generalize Indians, but we Indians are really expressive, emotional people. We put emotion to everything. Like everything, you watch our movies, or like we over emotionalize everything. Like suppose you have a friend, you meet him for one day, like you just befriended him one day ago, you're gonna call him, he's my soul brother, he's my real brother.
I think I'm stuck on, I have my subconscious talks to me in a robotic voice. It has no emotion.
What would you like to eat for breakfast today, Henry?
I would like to have kale. I would only like
This
to
is
have
how
kale.
I dance. I dance like
Yeah.
this. This is no other movement. I don't know what
Would
else
you
to
like
do.
to have a gluten-free bagel, Henry?
No, I don't eat bread at all. I've been avoiding bread since.
I want to go to Berlin and have an orgy with Serene. Please make it happen.
This would be the best orgy ever.
Error, reboot required.
On Facebook.
The motherboard has been fried with this information.
The subconscious mind doesn't have emotion. Your emotion is connected to the subconscious mind. This is how it works. But when your subconscious mind can work without the emotion, but the emotion
That's
is
the
like,
part. That's exactly the part. The way to make the subconscious really with the garden, to grow, you have to attach emotion. And everyone has got that except me.
yeah, like you have to fire it up with emotion. It's like, like for example, this is a very example. When I was young, someone tells me, this Christian, tells you money is root of all evil. So how
It is.
you repeat that words, you see how does it feel now? Money is root of all evil. And then now turn the other way around and say, I'm a billionaire or I'm retired.
Yeah, you put the word, and money is the root of all evil, and I'm a billionaire. Yeah, you see the shape of emotion.
The
But
root of all
sometimes,
evil, because I need a new laptop.
yeah, or I need to fuck a very expensive hooker, something like that.
Wow.
Tonight on Disney Playboy.
I'm still surprised that people read books.